On this edition of the Sports Desk, the top-ranked Lady Knights are trying to keep their heads above the rim in the Del Rey League. And the Lady Tartars basketball team is doing something no other team in the Pioneer League is doing, from the hardwood to the pitch. Can the Torrance boys soccer team climb in the standings in their game against El Segundo? It's time to get fired up because the Sports Desk starts now. Hello and welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Bonnie Prickitt. Things look a little bit new and improved around here. That's right, a new set and a new open, new graphics, the whole bit. It's been great being out in the field, getting to meet all of you fans and student body cheerleaders, band, but I can't tell you how exciting it is to be back here in the studio. Let's go ahead and talk about your favorite prep sports. With basketball season in full swing, the race for the top spot in league play is on for all of the teams. The Tartar boys basketball team came into this year with promising players, and as they continue in the Pioneer League, their learning curve is getting a little bit harder. The Lady Tartars played through a pretty tough preseason, coming out with a 6-7 overall record. But whatever happens in the preseason stays in the preseason as you watch their second half highlights against El Segundo. Sports Desk reporter Nicole Flannery fills us in.
The Torrance girls basketball team, led by coach Rick Momohara, is having an incredible 2011 season and come into their game against El Segundo with a 2-0 record in Pioneer League and an 8-6 record overall. Powered by confidence, teamwork, and exceptional shooting, the Tartars ran up and down the court against El Segundo, proving why they are sitting atop the Pioneer League standings. With exceptional performances by Kristen Meha and Faith Matsuda, the Tartars crushed Eagles with a final score of 50-36.
The girls basketball team started off the night with a bang for the Tartars with a huge win against the Eagles. Let's see if the boys can follow in their footsteps and take a victory over El Segundo. What do you guys think? Can the guys win tonight?
They weren't the only ones excited about the game tonight, as fans of all ages on hand to cheer on the home team. The Torrance boys varsity team, behind coach George Takabana, come into their game against El Segundo with an 8-9 record overall and a 1-2 record in league play. They face a tough team in the Eagles, who now have their superstar 6'3" Brandon Jawado back in the lineup. The game started off slow for Torrance as they only had 8 points in the entire first quarter and really couldn't get anything going shooting-wise. And with one of only a couple baskets in the first, this is Jimmy Carter with the easy lay-in right here. And Torrance just really not looking good on offense or defense, as they only had 17 points in the first half. Down 37-18 in the third, and this is Jay Watanabe down the lane for the basket and the and one. Later in the third, down 40-24, and here's Brandon Gardner with a pretty jumper, and he ended up with 10 on the night. And check this out, this is Jay Watanabe with a nice spin move, and he would lead the Tartars with 11 points in the game. And Torrance had much better shooting in the fourth quarter, and this is Andrew Tawney with the jumper from the outside. But they just couldn't keep pace with the Eagles, who would go on to win the game.
It seemed like there was a complete switch that happened between the third and fourth quarter. All the players really did start kind of having more energy and playing. How do you get that motivation for them to play all 4 quarters next week?
Well, they better be able to find it, because we're in this part of our season now that we lose a couple more games, and you're not going to be able to make the playoffs. So they're going to have to play with a little bit more heart.
We definitely want to see some wins. We want to see stepping up from other guys, and our goal at the end of the season is definitely to make playoffs.
The boys varsity team suffered a tough loss today to the Eagles, but they showed a spark, and with 17 points at the end of the fourth quarter, all we can hope for is they hold this throughout the rest of league play and into the playoffs. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Nicole Flannery.
Hey, thanks Nicole for that story. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Lady Tartars after their great win over El Segundo, 50-36. Tartar center Hana Ono is a 5'9" scoring machine with 16 points, and last year's standout Faith Matsuda, she had 10 points. They are currently undefeated in the Pioneer League, and the boys team couldn't hold off the Eagles, falling 64-45. Jay Watanabe and Brandon Gardner led the team in scoring. And that's all we have for now, but Coming up after the break, the Lady Knights are ranked second in their CIF division, but how are they faring in the tough Delray League? Stick around to find out.
Because play might be the best way to fight obesity.
Because staying connected makes my family stronger.
Because a safe place after school can lead to success in school.
Because physical activity is vital to my health and well-being.
Because I need to make my world better.
Because playing team sports teaches character and social skills.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
Our fugitive has been on the run for 90 minutes. Average foot speed over uneven terrain, barring any injuries, is 4 miles per hour. What I need from each and every one of you is a full target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, and doghouse in that area. Your fugitive has just cashed in his 401k plan, and all he had to do was roll it over.
Learn about rollovers and protecting your financial future, and choose to save.
You can't mess with the big dog.
Hi, I'm Jerry West, and you're watching the Sports Desk.
Welcome back. We've touted the Lady Knights basketball team as one of the best teams around, and well, they are. Just take a look at their #2 ranking in the Division IV AA. The Delray League is never easy, and it's proving not to be a slam dunk for the Knights to take the top spot. But as you see, they're still pretty good. John Ramey punches this one in.
Delray League action on the girls' side. Bishop Amat at Bishop Montgomery. First quarter action, Devin Brookshire had a fine first half. She would finish with 8 points. Here she finds the range for an early Knights lead. It was short-lived, however, as Amat was on fire early, and they ran out in front 9-2. Bishop Montgomery banged the comeback drum in that first quarter, however. Scrappy defense from Kimberly Willis and Chelsea Aaron the layup. The rally was on. Later in the first quarter, Taylor Sansbury, another team captain, finding the range from downtown. That tied the game at 11. Montgomery would trail by 2 at the end of the first quarter. Adjustments by Coach Bryn Britton helped key a big second quarter for the Knights. Brookshire again. She would finish the game with 10 points, and the Knights would outscore Amat 18-8 in the second quarter. Check out this little shimmy shake move from Kristen Ale off the window and in, and the Knights were rolling. Lauren Martin ended the half with consecutive three-pointers, including this one here just before the buzzer. If not for a rough first 4 minutes, it might be the Knights in a rout. Either way, they've managed to battle back and take control of this game at the intermission, thanks to some fine individual performances and a stifling press. The second half began much like the first half ended, with the Knights dominating. Here's Devin Brookshire again, this time rejecting Andrea Villanueva of Bishop Amat. Senior captain Taylor Sansbury here on the drive in the lane, and the Knights would open up a 9-point advantage. That's when a funny thing happened. The Lancers caught fire, and one for Leah Powell in traffic, and VNA Austin finds the range from beyond the arc en route to a game-high 17 points. At the other end of the floor, Montgomery began to miss open looks, and their offense evaporated like a dewdrop off a lotus leaf.
When we knock down shots and can get into our press, it helps, but the gut check comes when you miss some of the easy shots. How are you going to get it back, and how are you going to come up with some defensive stops? You still have to knock down free throws and layups. There's no excuse for that.
Amat ended the third quarter on a 7-0 run. That brought them within 1. Ariana Sampson's three put the Knights back in front 45-42. That would be their last lead. The fourth quarter belonged to Austin, and she helped the Lancers build a 4-point lead with just over 2 minutes remaining. Still, the Knights had a chance to win. Under 20 seconds to go in regulation. Amat leading by 1. Kristen Ale's shot from the key would not fall, and the Lancers hold on for the road victory. 51-48 the final.
I told them they're underperforming. They're not working hard enough in practice. They don't challenge each other enough, and it shows in games when you can't put a team away in the second half. They're individual performances, and that's the problem that we're struggling with right now. If we're going to beat individual performances, we're not going to win. And we showed that against Bernards, and we just showed that again tonight against Amat. We can't have an individual performance. I don't want 3 great players. I want a whole good team, and I've got a couple of kids that aren't stepping up in practice, and it shows in the games.
It's heartbreak at home for the Bishop Montgomery Knights as Bishop Amat goes on a 17-6 run to end the game, and they win it by 3 in comeback fashion. The loss drops the Knights to 1-2 in the Delray League, 1-3 at home, and 14-6 on the season. For the Sports Desk, this is John Ramey.
John Ramey, cheers to you for the story. The Knights were outscored 28-17 in the second half, inevitably adding to their demise. But Taylor Sansbury scored with 12 points, and Devin Brookshire and Chelsea Aaron sunk 10 points. The Knights took charge the rest of the week, though. The loss earlier in the week stung, getting them into gear for the win. They won 2 very important games, St. Paul and St. Anthony. St. Paul is a Delray League win and brings their league record to 2-2. They will play St. Bernard and Mater Dei this week. Let's take a look at the rest of the scores. What a difference a year makes. The Lady Warriors' record and play is outstanding this year. The team lost Redondo, but so far that's their only league loss. Erin O'Malley and Kelsey Ishigo helped the Warriors to a big win over Lusinger. This brings their overall record to 13-8. And it's no surprise that Jocelyn Barnes lit up the stat board against the Lady Saxons' win over Lawndale. Barnes came out with 11 points, 15 boards, and 4 steals. Another North standout player is Clarissa McTougal, showed up big with 8 points, 6 steals, and 5 rebounds. The Lady Saxons also sealed another W over El Segundo. We'll take a look at the league standings in a moment, but first, let's look at the rest of the league. At the top of the show, you saw how the Lady Tartars whooped the Eagles, and Faith Matsuda and Kayla Yanamoto led the team to another great game against Centennial. The Lady Spartans didn't fare so well against the Apaches, barely losing by a bucket. They would rebound later in the week, though, with Brianna Aoki and Jean Dulay leading the team in scoring. Let's now take a look at those current Pioneer League standings. It's no surprise to the Lady Tartars that they're on top with 4 straight wins. North is in second with their only loss to third-place Centennial. Centennial is 3-1, and their only loss is to Torrance. South is hoping for a playoff spot with a 2-3 league record. El Segundo and Lawndale round out the bottom, so the real test will be when Torrance and North play this week, and of course catch the highlights on the Sports Desk. Let's now take a look at the Prep Boys basketball scores. The Warriors are doing surprisingly well in the Bay League. I know it's only a 2-2 record, but barely losing to Redondo and capping a big win over Lusinger. Rashad Karb fired 3-pointers all night, totaling 15 points. Brandon Yamato was hot too with 9 points and 7 assists. And in the Delray League, it's the Knights under the leadership of Kyle Reed, who scored 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots. That kid is good. Justin Bivens and Larry Taylor showed up to play too, along with helping their team to a 11-7 record. And the Saxons have 2 really good players. Chris Garcia and Elliot Morris were unstoppable in the game against Lawndale, as North scored 81 points for the win. They would lose a tough one to El Segundo, but lessons were learned, and they'll be ready for the second meeting. The Spartans are pacing themselves in the Pioneer race this season, and after losing to Centennial, Jay Cly and Shea Madrid lit it up against Lawndale, but it wasn't enough to win, bringing them to a 2-2 record. And of course, you saw at the top of the show that Torrance lost to El Segundo. They couldn't get their balance of offense and defense, but they're able to come back strong, putting one in the win column against Centennial. Let's now take a look at the Pioneer League standings. The Eagles and Saxons stand atop the Pioneer League, and Gundo lost to last place Centennial, believe it or not. North's only league loss was to El Segundo. South is battling with Torrance for a designated spot in the postseason. Lawndale and Centennial are at the bottom of the standings right now. It seems as though all of the girls' basketball teams are in the hunt for the playoffs. The Warrior basketball programs are keeping the rest of the Bay League in suspense, so another season of all the leagues going down to the wire is on its way. There's also more stuff coming on the way in the Sports Desk, so stay tuned.
Over half the people waiting for an organ transplant in the United States will die before they get one. You can increase your chances of getting a life-saving organ donation while helping others in need by joining Life Sharers. As a Life Sharers member, you get preferred access to the organs of other members. In return, you give fellow members first access to your organs. By offering your organs first to other organ donors, you create an incentive for non-donors to become donors. You inspire others to follow your lead. You'll also help make the system more fair. Half of the organs transplanted in the U.S. go to people who have not agreed to donate their own organs when they die. Membership is free, and anyone can join. Even if you're already a registered organ donor, you should sign up. Join Life Sharers now. It's free, and it could save your life.
Many good things are easy to spot, even in black and white. A maple leaf, birds in flight, our trees in summer. But there's one bad thing that's also easy to spot because it is black and white. The Asian longhorn beetle. This insect is killing our trees, but with your help, we can defeat it. It's as simple as black and white. Look for the beetle, and if you spot it, report it at beetlebusters.info.
Now time for us to go to the pitch. The French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre had a saying about soccer that fits with the current struggles of a few of your favorite teams. In football, everything is complicated by the presence of the other team. The Torrance boys soccer team tries to keep up with their opponent in this story brought to you by Karen Bright.
The Torrance Tartars are 5-8-3 and try for their first Pioneer League win as they host the 2-3-1 El Segundo Eagles. Torrance, with the kickoff, get caught up in their backfield, but work together to stop the Eagle attack and set up the counter. The Tartars find an offensive rhythm, working the ball well from the back and getting everyone involved in play. Captain Fabian Arroyo chips the ball downfield, but can't penetrate the El Segundo defense. Torrance controls the ball and the clock, but can't get a good shot on goal. Midfielder Francisco Claudio dishes it to defender Miguel Ledesma. He takes a touch, but can't put it on goal. The Tartars put this free kick on the net, but get denied, and it's still 0-0. Torrance continues to create scoring opportunities, but can't capitalize. And with everyone pushed up on offense, they find themselves vulnerable to the Eagles' quick counterattack. El Segundo finds their way around the Tartar defense and are up 1-0 going into the half. As the second half kicks off, the temperature's dropping, but action on the pitch is just starting to heat up, and the Torrance offense is hungry for a goal. With just under 5 on the clock, Arroyo centers the ball for the equalizer, scores tied at 1, and here comes overtime. In OT, El Segundo, with the momentum, gets taken down at the top of the box. That sets up the free kick and back-to-back goals for the Eagles. And the Torrance Tartars go down 3-1 to the El Segundo Eagles.
We dominated most of the game, and then we gave up 2 free kicks, which pretty much ended the game for us.
We did pretty good the first half, and then we started to shut down slowly and just ended up with a loss.
The Tartars fall to 5-9-3 on the season after today's 3-1 loss to the El Segundo Eagles. The score doesn't reflect the game, however, as the Tartars fought hard and held control of the ball for a large portion of the match. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Karen Bright.
Thanks to Karen for the report. Torrance battled back to score 1 goal against El Segundo, but that shouldn't keep them from going ahead and climbing in the standings and hoping for a playoff spot. Let's take a look at a few more scores from around the city. Charles Parker and George Bawachi hit the back of the Bishop Amat's net for the Knights Del Rey League win. They've struggled this season, but if they want a playoff spot, there's still some games left on the season to make a run at it. In other leagues, the Pioneer League. North is looking good to take the Pioneer League, all the while keeping their sights on making another deep run in the playoffs. And after 2 wins convincingly against Lawndale and El Segundo, Claudio Rodriguez scored 2 goals for the Saxons. Spartans Julian Hamed and Jerson Bustamante shared the scoring duties with Southwind over Centennial. And looking at the standing, it's clear that the undefeated Saxons are the team to beat. El Segundo, South, and Torrance really are battling for the 2nd and 3rd spot. Torrance and South meet up again this week, and the South Spartans are rebounding quite nicely after a loss to the Lady Tartars a few weeks back. A 7-0 win over Centennial and shutting out Lawndale by 6 goals is sure to put a kick in their step. The Lady Saxons took on first-place Eagles and came out with a draw, which is very good confidence and for their standings. The Tartars couldn't keep the girls of the Gundo down, however, losing by 2 goals. All right, let's now take a look at the current Pioneer League standings. El Segundo is on top and probably will stay there since their games this week are against Lawndale and Centennial. And the other spots, well, they're pretty much left to the 3 schools from Torrance, all vying for 2nd and 3rd place. And if you're wondering where the Warriors were on the scoreboard, well, they took a break in action last week. Both girls and boys begin league play this week. Coming up after the break, Torrance gets a visit from the best Laker ever, or is he? Stick around to find out.
I will keep dancing on point, even if it hurts.
My arm is killing me. I don't know if I can pitch another ball, but I'll just play through the pain anyway.
I have to do the big stunts. We'll look better than the other cheerleaders if our tosses are bigger.
My elbow really aches, but I've got to keep practicing.
Nearly 50% of all sports injuries sustained by middle and high school students are from overuse. Don't play through the pain. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
You have the time to give. You have the capacity to care. You have the experience to contribute. And your country needs you, one of its greatest assets. Americans whose lifetime of knowledge and know-how will make the difference.
Take what you learned in the workplace and apply those skills to your community. Shape tomorrow by being a mentor and tutor for children. Make independence a reality for people who need assistance and companionship to continue to make their house their home.
Make a difference today. Get involved.
Travel advisories to small business loans, student loans to taxes online. Whether you have information to get or ideas to give, USA.gov is the official place to connect with your government. From surplus car auctions to finding a new job, our new mobile apps will keep you updated on the go. So check out USA.gov, because the country runs better when we stay connected.
Hi, I'm Luke Walton, and you're watching the Sports Desk, Channel 3.
Hey, that was Luke Walton. Pretty good Laker there, giving the Sports Desk the shout out. Who was the best Laker? Well, maybe Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, or the NBA Hall of Famer Jerry West. Well, he was the one who was visiting Torrance earlier this month, and Mr. Clutch had breakfast with the Chamber of Commerce to get some folks interested in not basketball, but golf. The Northern Trust Open is a golf tournament being played at the Riviera Country Club in the Palisades. West is the executive director for the tournament, which benefits local LA charities. He shared some life knowledge with the large crowd at the breakfast and with us.
One of the things I learned in my life was humility. It's the greatest word that people can learn, okay? It's the greatest word, humility. My life has changed drastically in the sense that, I feel like it's my duty almost to try to help the community and give back to the community, which has been so good to me, so supportive, and more importantly, their tremendous support of the Lakers over the years, which to me provides something different than most sports teams. People have great community pride in the Lakers, and obviously the people who have been part of that process are the ones I want to help most.
So Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Kobe Bryant, it's an argument still in the making, but you can be sure that they would all support the Northern Trust Open. You should go and watch your favorite PGA Tour golfers and have some fun. To purchase tickets, visit the website on your screen, and you can also know that it is February 15th through February 20th. Now is the time of the show for you to tell us something we might not know. The easiest way to do that is by taking a look at our website. You can call our number, 310-618-5762, and email us at thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. Visit all of our shows online at torranceca.gov, and most of the shows are uploaded on YouTube from the year 2010. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of the Sports Desk. Hope you liked all the new changes. So until next time, Torrance, have a good time.